people we are representing are listening to us. How much of this democracy, unbroken democracy that we are celebrating today, how has it translated to, unbroken food security? How has it transformed into unbroken security in the nation? How has it transformed into unbroken access to education, access to healthcare? And we're talking about celebration of democracy. The democracy is government of the people, for the people, by the people. And it should actually change the lives of our people. We are representing our people. Our people are hungry back home. For me, to be honest with you, Mr. Speaker, there is nothing to celebrate.
Oh, you're saying we should not celebrate
so we should
democracy?
Be looking at celebrating food security. We should
build also that we are aware that over the years, critical security centers like police stations and police and security infrastructure have been touched or burnt down or destroyed by non-state actors, leaving those areas which ordinarily ought to be policed vacant and open to further invasion and intimidation of the people who now move in fear of terror. I suggest that this House do also resolve as part of our
We should look at the issues of insecurity, particularly which, if you see, has different impacts and has created a lot of humanitarian emergencies in the country today, which resulted in issue of hunger, issue of malnutrition among our children, lack of school among our children, a lot of other things. And even lack of hospitals has also generated a lot of health issues.
Democracy is also a process where you give other people a chance to speak. And we're celebrating 25 years of independence, 25 years of unbroken democratic system. And for me, this celebration is coming to me with so much mixed feelings, because Nigerians are all watching us. Nigerians are listening to us. Those people we are representing are listening to us. How much of this democracy, unbroken democracy that we are celebrating today, how has it translated to, unbroken food security? How has it transformed into unbroken security in the nation? How has it transformed into unbroken access to education, access to healthcare? And we're talking about celebration of democracy. The democracy is government of the people, for the people, by the people. And it should actually change the lives of our people. We are representing our people. Our people are hungry back home. For me, to be honest with you, Mr. Speaker, there is nothing to celebrate.
Oh, you're saying we should not celebrate
we should
democracy?
be looking at celebrating food security. We should be looking at celebrating access to healthcare. So we should be looking at celebrating. There are a lot of things to celebrate. We know that we have had unbroken. Excuse me, please. I need to be protected. I need to be protected, Mr. Speaker.
You are protected, but democracy is what is protecting you.
So
democracy has given you that place you are standing.
We have on this floor.
To be a parliamentarian, it's democracy that gave you that platform. Are you saying you are not celebrating it?
How has it impacted? We need it to move a step further. We need it to move a step further. If I am here and it has brought me here, how has it impacted my own people? That's what I'm talking about, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much.
So please,
thank you.
We are celebrating, I am celebrating, but we should be
okay, you are celebrating it now.
Implement what we have been doing here.
Okay, thank you. So you are celebrating it now.
Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable colleagues, democracy. That's the last words countered her first word, because democracy gave her the platform to be able to address this issue, and to say she is not celebrating it is what's better. Honorable Kafilat, I want to hear you speak. Please.
Democracies which we have, I believe we have in Nigeria today. There are other countries that you have voting, people go out to vote. vote for their representatives, but they have illiberal democracies because they have compromised a lot of things like the freedom of the press, freedom of involvement in all government processes, freedom, a lot of things, even the independence of the judiciary has been compromised in some democracies. But I think we should be proud that in Nigeria, during this period of 25 years of uninterrupted democracies, we have never in any way compromised the independence of these arms of government. Mr. Speaker, even in the UK and the US, where democracies are examples to us and to the rest of the world, until recently, I think, though the franchise, for instance, in the UK has been extended from 1830, but until in 1918 that women were allowed to vote. And we should all be proud that in these 25 years of democracy in Nigeria, there has never been a scenario where women or other factions in the society has been defranchised from voting. We should congratulate ourselves for that. And equally, even in the United States, it is until 1965 that African Americans were allowed to fully vote. So in looking at all these scenarios, Your Excellency, honorable colleagues, we should be proud that we have nurtured our democracy during these uninterrupted 25 years. Not forgetting the fact that we equally have challenges, which we are still working assiduously within the society, in the executive, the legislature, issues of insecurity, and all other things. I think we should all sit up to see that we use this same democracy that gives us the power to be involved in the process of government, to work hard to see that we face all these challenges and find solutions to it. We should look at the issues of insecurity, particularly, which, if you see, has different impacts and has created a lot of humanitarian emergencies in the country today, which resulted in issue of hunger, issue of malnutrition among our children, lack of school among our children, a lot of other things. And even lack of hospitals has also generated a lot of health issues in this country. And if you look at it, when we are talking about hunger or lack of physical health, the lack of mental health is one of the major issues that we should face during this period of our democracy, because it involves a lot of other things. It is all over. You can see it in children, in schools, everywhere. And this all resulted as a result of the fact that people have always been awake and are threatened with a lot of insecurity issues, ranging from kidnapping, from bandits, herders, Boko Haram, and a lot of others. And the IPOB everywhere. If you go to the northeast, to the southwest, to the south-south, to the north-central, everywhere you will find one sort of insecurity or the other.
Okay.
And this is one thing we should, as a legislator, sit down, look at it, revisit, and then work hard to see that next year, when we are celebrating our 26th year of uninterrupted democracy, we should say we are happy that we can sleep outside with our eyes closed. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Thank you. I know that the man that was moving the
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
was to draw attention to himself.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
We would like to give you opportunity to say something, not based on your point of order. Let's hear you, Honorable Agocha, please. While you are doing that, we recognize our leaders, the leaders of the nation who are here. We recognize the Secretary to the Federal Government, recognize the leader of our party, the chairman, national chairman of our party, the friend of the parliament, who is also the governor of Borno State, recognize the leadership of the party. I've seen my own chairman from the southeast, who is in charge of our party in the south, Honorable Enuku, also former presiding officers and other government officials. Proper recognitions will be given.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak today on this special day of the Day of Democracy in Nigeria. I would like, first of all, to congratulate my honorable colleagues, Mr. Speaker, and all other Nigerians on this uninterrupted 25 years of democracy.
From that region becomes hampered, that we deploy more security presence around areas of trade and commerce to buffer and encourage residents who defy such threats from non-state actors and come to trade and ensure that their life and properties are being protected. I say this in addition to also supporting non-kinetic approach, such as those being driven by the Deputy Speaker himself and all members from this House, and especially the Southeast, wherein we deploy non-kinetic approach and political approach, as it were, depending on the situation and the case, to ensure results are achieved. Secondly and lastly, I would contribute also that we are aware that over the years, critical security centers like police stations and police and security infrastructure have been touched or burnt down or destroyed by non-state actors, leaving those areas which ordinarily ought to be policed vacant and open to further invasion and intimidation of the people who now move in fear of terror. I suggest that this House do also resolve, as part of our resolution, to mandate the necessary security agencies like the police and the ministry to make the necessary appropriation or budgetary provision to repair this destroyed infrastructure, so that those gaps which have now widened and have become places where these non-state actors actually now reside become reclaimed, reconstructed, and reinforced to add to the security architecture overall. I want to appreciate Mr. President and the security team for doing an impressive work, because over the last few years, I want to observe that security has improved, because if we also point out where there are improvements, then it will lead for better improvement of the security architecture. Thank you, Honorable.
Yeah, you have an